It's gonna get it's personal. Better watch it's gonna get it's personal. Better watch your back. It's gonna get personal.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another day of great powerlifting here at the 2025 European Open Classic Powerlifting Championship in Malaga, Spain. I am Alexandre Nodin and joined by someone that knows a thing or two about powerlifting, especially in Spain, Laura Oviedo.
Hello, Alex. Thank you for having me.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. Yesterday was amazing.
It was indeed. So today we have the 76s and the 120s. Starting off with the first flight, we'll have the B groups. 13 ladies in the 76s and 12 athletes in the 120s, one of the biggest flight so far. So running order, we have 13 openers ranging from 110 to 180 already in the 76s B group. That's quite a sizable opener.
It's going to be a long session.
Yeah, it is going to be a long session. It makes for more rest, so maybe more performance. It's going to be an interesting one. We are hoping to see someone fight for a medal from the B group. And just so you know the standings in terms of best lifter for the time being, we have Marta Kienner in the lead with 114.94. Second position, Paul Sauvan from France, 114.15. And in third position for the time being, Andorina Bouchou, also from France, 113.48. Will we see one of the top 76s fight for the best lifter? We might. We have a lot of great elite athletes in the A flight later on in the day. Tune in at 3 with us, at 4 actually, with us this afternoon. So the first opener for the 76s big group goes to Portugal, Katia Vinegre, 110. Bar is loaded.
Just a quick fact here, she's opening the heaviest she has ever opened. So we can expect a great performance.
Yeah, maybe progress were made in the gym for Katia Vinagre.
Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty nice.
Yeah.
3 white lights, solid opener. This is really what you want out of an opener, something comfortable, something you can triple, something you feel very confident with, just to get a feel for how's the platform, where are the referees.
Yeah, I always feel that the first attempt in squats is the hardest.
Yep.
Because you leave the warm-up room, and then you face all the public and the referees and the platform, everything.
It's the most nerve-wracking attempt for sure. Now Natalia Korosina from Latvia, 130. Only 7.5 kilos shy of her personal best of 137.5. Pretty sizable opener. And back-to-back high bar squatters. That's pretty rare to see. But 3 white lights, a good lift.
120 kilos in the bottom for Linda Suna, followed by Yosa and Lopez. R is loaded.
Bar is now loaded for another Latvian, Linda Suna, 140. And the same gap between our opener and our personal best, 7.5.
I believe she was yesterday here and she was feeling that the atmosphere was amazing with all the public. So she gets to enjoy the ambient today.
Solid opener.
Really nice.
Yep, 3 white lights, she's on the board.
3 white lights in the group lead.
So far so good.
Followed by Lopez and Petresic.
Yeah, I love the squat. It does look even fast on the replay. Now walking onto the platform is the Czechian Barbara Joskova, 152.5.
Really, really nice. She typically uses this weight for a second attempt, so we can assume she has made some progress.
Looking forward to seeing it. For now, it is 3 white lights, a good lift. The second Portuguese of the flight, Marta Lopez, 155.
Marta, who used to compete in the 69, and now we have her in the 76 weight class. Really nice.
And you're absolutely right, she was, and she's indeed one of the lightest of the flights, only weighing in at 73. But we see our first red light to the one, a good lift, but a red card from the chief referee. Might be a case of one of those lifters that look a bit poor from the front. But the jury seems to agree that it was indeed a good lift with the replay from the sides. Fanny Petrosevic from Hungary, 157.5. Comfortable walkout, letting the bar settle on her back and receiving the squat command. Another great opener. 3 white lights, a good lift.
Everything, it's a good lift so far.
Yep. Hoping you didn't bring on the commentator's curse and that the trend will continue and keep on going. So now it is 160 for Hélène Marie Eckart from Germany.
Really, really nice. She's a relatively new lifter, so she's making some progress. It's a good lift.
Yep, she's on the board. And for those watching at home, can you tell us what does a lifter needs to do to receive the squat command? What is the starting position looking like?
You need to be upright, right? You need to be with the knees locked, with the hip locked, and then the front referee will tell you the squat command.
Absolutely, you want to stay still with everything upright and extended to receive the first command of the squat, which is the squat command. Now on the platform from Spain, Rosa Rimo Sabadell, 165. And to me, that moved great.
Yeah. You're going to see that Rosa is one of the slowest lifters that you're going to see today.
Okay, so that must mean that this one was very easy because it was quite fast.
It was very, very, very easy for her. You're going to be amazed, especially in the deadlift.
Okay,
I'm telling you.
a promising sight for Rosa. Now on to Mia Kovacs from Ireland, 167.5. Looking calm and collected for our first squat of the day. Oh, and the walkout seemed light for her. Easy work.
She has held the national record for several times, so maybe what she does today in the squats means something at home.
Looking forward to that. 3 white lights, a good lift. 4 more openers to go. We have the Hungarian Thought Iniko, also for 167.5. Just like that, she picks up the weight. Comfortable walkout for the Hungarian. She creates a lot of tension on her posterior chain, the pre-hinge. And a red card from the right side referee, but 2-1, a good lift. We'll take a look at the replay. And Laura, do you see something on the replay that she should be worried about?
Actually, I don't. It seems good to me, but you know, the referees are the ones that can see better from their position.
Yeah, and it's very possible for a lifter to be a bit asymmetrical and from one hip to be higher than the other. So that was a side she got a white from, and we could understand that. Opening with 170 is Nusa Selesnik from Slovenia.
Time up.
Another comfortable opener.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 white lights and a good lead for Nuka Zeleznik. 172.5 on the bar for Valerie Velemanova of Czech Republic. And followed by Zarek and Vinagra. Bar is loaded.
The second to last opener for Valerie Velemanova, 172.5, very close to her personal best of 175.
When lifters open that high and that close to their personal record, it's good news, right?
At least I hope so. It surely means progress were made in the gym. This one will give us a hint as to what to expect for Valerie Velemanova. Lovely.
Really nice.
She's on the board, 3 white lights, and no doubt whatsoever she'll be hitting a personal best during the second attempt for sure.
Justina Zarek going for 180 kilos.
And the last one to open from Poland, Justina Sarek, 180.
Bar is
That is
loaded.
her registered personal best. How about that?
If she gets this, everyone will be on board, which is great news.
Oh, it's more of an harder opener. And a bit of suspense from the chief referee waiting on.
I think it's
The
going to be
lights.
okay.
At least I hope so.
Flag up,
Yes.
3
Yes,
white
3 white lights, everyone's on the board.
We are moving into round
Maybe
2.
she's just slow, but it wasn't necessarily difficult for her.
And you've mentioned the first squat to be quite nerve-wracking, so opening with your personal best, closing out the first round might be a bit stressful, but she's on the board and leading the class for the time being, followed by Valerie Velemanova and Nusa Selesnik. And the second round is starting now with the Portuguese Katia Vinagre, 12.5 kilo jump from 110 to 122.5.
Hold.
She has a really clear sticking point, but she manages through it, and it's a good lift.
Justina going for
Yeah, it's a pretty usual sticking point for more of an eye bar positioning. It's gonna be tough to add some more kilos onto that, but not impossible.
Bar is
It was a big
loaded.
jump, 12 kilos,
Yeah, for sure.
percentage-wise, it was a big jump.
A smaller jump of 10 kilos for Natalia Korosina from Latvia from 130 to 140.
And this could be a PB for her, a 2.5 kilo PB. Wow,
That's pretty fast for a PB. 3 white lights.
She definitely has more today.
45 kilos on the bar. For
Yeah, that looked just like her opener. Very fast, very snappy.
loaded.
A lot of room to roam for her third attempt. An even smaller jump of 7.5 kilos for Linda Suna from Latvia. This one's to match her personal best of 147.5. It goes up, but I'm a bit worried.
Yeah, me too. Well, no.
She gets still one record from the front, but 2-1, a good lift. We'll have a look at the replay. We mentioned that she might be looking worse from the front than from the side, but it definitely looked higher than the opener. So jury's looking at it, but they seem to be happy. And the lift will stand. Now to the Portuguese Marta Lopes from 155 to 162.5. That would be a 2.5 kilo personal best for the Portuguese.
She's feeling strong today. And
Bit of
it's-
suspense, winning on the lights. 2-1, a good lift. And what do you make of that? Was that top end strength? Maybe something went wrong technically?
I don't know, maybe I think she's just a slow lifter at the bottom and she just needs to keep pushing, but
Okay,
it doesn't necessarily mean that she lacks strength today.
so maybe a smaller jump, maybe 2.5 to try and squeeze some more kilos onto that. But for now, it is Barbora Juskova from Czechia on the platform, a 10 kilo jump to 162.5.
And it's a PB attempt for her too. Really nice.
This is really what you would expect out of a second attempt. For it to look a slightly bit harder, but still moving great, and you know what to add on to that. She can gauge what she has on the day. Nicely executed by the Czech team.
Bar is loaded.
Bars now loaded for Fanny Petricevic from Hungary. A 10 kilo jump from 157.5 to 167.5.
I don't want to mess this up, but everyone has good lifts on the board right now. But you know that as soon as we say that in the commentator
Yeah.
table, it
It
changes.
is one of the worst thing to say as a commentator, but she's looking strong. Fanny, you've got this. Come on.
Wow,
She does indeed.
really deep.
3 white lights, a good lift. Pacing herself really well in the squat events. Now a 10 kilo jump for Hélène Marie Eckdal from Germany. 170 loaded on the bar.
And attempting for another PB for her. 2.5 PB.
Really fast eccentric, but she makes great use of it. 3 white lights and a new personal best, as you mentioned, of 2.5 kilos for the German. Let's have a look at the replay. Yeah, that was very fast on the way down.
Bar is loaded.
A 5 kilo jump for Mia Kovacs from Ireland. 172.5 loaded on the bar.
I love how confident she looks on the platform right now, and how she approaches the bar.
And she has every right to be confident. That was a nice second attempt. 3 white lights for the Irish.
175 on the bar.
Are we going to see a new Irish record on the platform?
Yeah, maybe.
Bar is loaded.
And now from Spain, Rosa Erimo Sabadell, 175, a 10 kilo jump.
Rosa, who has been competing since 2019, she has made huge progress on the squat, especially her first squat in a competition was 127.5.
Oh yeah, that's
That's
that's a
some
lot of
progress.
improvement.
Yeah.
So for the time being, she's in the B group, maybe the A group next year. She needs to make a case for herself. And still
Wow.
not that slow for Rosa.
I'm very surprised with her today.
Yep, 3 white lights, a good lift.
At the same weight, 175. The bar is loaded.
And the coach also seems to be happy with that one. They might load up a PB. 175 for Eniko from Hungary. It's a 7.5 kilo jump. That same technique. Snappy lockout.
And she's really intense in the lifting.
To the 1, a good lift. I think this is the exact same call she got on her opener. So I'm not too worried. It does look good from that side.
Yeah.
And when we mention depth, what we are really looking for and what the referees are looking for is for the hip crease to go below the top part of the knee. Very easy to judge from the side. More difficult to judge from the front, especially for the wider stances.
And especially in the higher weight classes, we face lifters that have really long legs and they have to move a lot of range of movement to sink deep.
Yeah, great point. Now unracking the bar is Valerie Velemanova from Czechia, 177.5. And I think that's a great 2.5 kilo personal best for her. 3 white lights and good
Yes.
lifts.
180 kilos.
Maybe there's 2.5 or 5 kilos more today.
Yeah, I mean, 5 might be a risk, but why not? You're in the B group, you want to show out, you want to enjoy the competition. Maybe you want more of a fight, or you make the sensible decision and go 2.5. We'll see in just a few seconds, since the lifters only have 1 minute to call their next attempt. But for now, the second to last second attempt, Nusa Selesnik from Slovenia, 10 kilo jump from 170 to 180. Her opener was very comfortable. No technical breakdown. It is slow, but she's very much in control. 3 white lights, a good lift.
Wow, and now for a 7.5 PB.
Yeah, Justina Sarsek from Poland, loading 187.5. Her opener was more on the slow end, but why not? Why not load it up? Second attempt for the Polish.
I'm looking forward to see how the total develops because on prognosis she will make a huge improvement. Let's see.
It looks better than the opener.
Yeah. Wow. Amazing control of the weight in the bar.
Absolutely. We're winning on the lights, but from our side, we're not that worried. Let's see the replay from the other side. It does look well optimized. And the flags are up in the air. It will be ruled a good lift, so a new personal best of 7.5 kilos. Can she reach the 500 kilo total today is really the question. But obviously for the time being, she leads the class, followed by Nusa Selesnik and Valerie Velemanova. Third round of squats starting now with the Portuguese Katia Vinagre. 130, 7.5 kilo jump onto what was already a personal best. Yeah, we weren't expecting that big of a jump, to be honest.
Yeah, it's still a big jump. From the first to the second, it was a big jump, but still 7.5 kilos, it's a big jump.
Yeah, especially considering that second one was already somewhat of a grind. I would not have loaded as much, but it was up to the discretion of the coach and the athlete to load whatever they wanted. But it will be the first no lift of the flight. For another 7.5 kilo jump, the Latvian Natalia Kolosina, 147.5.
And not only a 7.5 kilo jump, it's also a 7.5 attempt PB. Wow.
Wow, you have to love it. This looked like a second attempt. 3
Yeah.
white lights, a good lift.
She's happy, she should be. I mean, I also want to hit PBs like that.
I mean, she might want a fourth attempt by the looks of it. Nicely done. Now 152.5 for Linda Suna from Latvia. A 5 kilo jump for that same amount of a personal best.
I believe she has only competed once, but she made it to Euros, so that's a good start in the sport.
A grinder that won't go up, but she's saved by the Spanish loading and spotting crew. They are so efficient. They are so fast. They
Really
make the
fast.
competition safe and predictable for our lifters. So huge shout out to the Spanish spotting and loading crew. 167.5 for Marta Lopez, a 5 kilo jump for that same amount of a personal best. And for those just tuning in, this is the 76B group. The A flight will take place at 4 in the afternoon today. She almost had me there. I thought for a second this one was going to go up, but no lift for Marta Lopez. And I think this time it was a case of strength.
Yeah, this time I think it was a little bit too much for the day.
Bar is loaded.
Bar is now loaded the same weight, the same jump for Barbara Juskova from Czechia.
And this is for a 5 kilo PB.
Very narrow grip to create a lot of tension in the upper back. Control the bar. Impose your wheel to the bar. And a nice third attempt for Barbara Juskova. 3 white lights, a good lift, and as you've mentioned, a new personal best of 5 kilos.
That was perfect.
Yeah, the greatest goal you can make is not emptying the tank, but getting a PB in the squat. You create some lovely momentum, and you build a nice chunky subtotal in the competition.
Yeah, at this moment you have already 2/3 of the competition ahead, so you need to save some energy for those lifts too.
Absolutely. And now a 5 kilo jump for Ellen Merriekdal from Germany, from 170 to 175. The 3 red plates in competition, a milestone for any weight class. And that would be a 5 kilo personal best.
Wow.
Great grind. I think she made the job even more difficult by rolling the bar on her back, but still it went up. 3 white lights, a good lift, and a new personal best for the German. Some great squat action from these ladies. We have 7 more squats to go before we head straight into the big boys, the 120s.
This is a 7.5 kilo jump for her too, but I think it's justified this time.
Yeah, Fanny Petrasevic trying to get 175 for a 2.5 kilo personal best.
The second attempt was really, really nice, really clean.
Yeah, very convincing second attempt. Great call from the Hungarian team. 3 white lights, a good lift. 3 for 3 in the squat event with a new personal best of 2.5 kilos.
For Mia Kovacs of Ireland.
6 more squats to go. We have Mira Kovacs from Ireland aiming for a 5 kilo personal jump from 172.5 to what would be a new Irish record, 177.5. She's never hit that in competition.
And she smiles because she knows she's got it. 3 white lights.
That's a lovely sight. The Irish always bring a lot of energy to the platform. It is contagious. We love to see that from the commentary booth. Now bars loaded for Thad Eniko from Hungary, 180, a 5 kilo jump to match her personal best. Aggressive with the unrack. Looking to dominate. Oh yeah.
She doesn't lose his technique in any moment.
And 2 to 1, a good lift. She got a 2 to 1 on each and every attempt. And I don't think the jury will intervene. And if they want to do so, they need to be unanimous. They won't. The lift will stand for the Hungarian. Nusa Selesnik from Slovenia now 182.5, the smallest jump possible of 2.5.
Wow, what a fight. 2 to 1.
And a no lift this time, 2 to 1, 2 red cards for lack of depth. I'm not so sure the replay will be favorable for her. She got a white from that side, and the jury agrees that squat was high, no lift for the Slovenian. Attempting the same weight, Valerie Velemanova from Czechia, 182.5, 5 kilo jump for 5 kilo personal best.
Wow.
Slightly misgrooved, but she kept on grinding. I don't think that bar dipped. I don't think it went down. 3 white lights, a good
Wow.
lift. What a way to save an attempt.
She definitely knew what she was doing when she asked for 5 more kilos.
And you can see her open her hand to try and keep that bar positioning.
Is loaded.
What a fight. Now stepping on through the platform is Rosa Erimo Sabadell. We are yet to see her slow down. She's attempting a 10 kilo jump for 5 kilo personal best. You mentioned she can grind a squat.
Yeah, and she can grind everything.
So the grind specialist from Spain, Rosa, attempting her personal best now on the platform.
Wow.
And still not that slow for a third attempt. 3 white lights, a new personal best for Rosa.
She has a great day today. I'm thrilling to see what she has for deadlifts.
Yeah, she has one of the biggest opener. We'll see.
Loaded.
And the last squat for the 76B flight is Justina Sasek, 192.5. This one's a 5 kilo jump onto what was already a 7.5 kilo personal best. A tough ask maybe, but we've seen her maintain position.
Yeah, she's very technical, and as long as she can maintain the technique, I think she's going to be okay.
I'm gonna wait on the lights, but
2 to 1.
yeah, 2 to 1. I think the sides were a bit high. Will the replay do it justice? I'm not so sure. It does look on the wrong side of the fence this time. The jury seems to agree with the call. A no lift, but she still walks away with a personal best of 187.5. That leads the class for the time being, with the A-lifters yet to compete. They'll compete at 4 in the afternoon. And in second position for now, Rosa Erimo Sabadell with 185. Third, Valerie Velemanova with 182.5. That was quite a good squat session. What do you think, Laura?
We have seen some grinds that we always love to see, of course, in the platform.
Absolutely.
But I have also seen some lifters that didn't even seem to be hitting a third attempt, right?
True, very true. Some great progress were made in training, and it showed on the platform. Now, jumping in straight into the big boys, the 120 bleep flight, 10 athletes, openers ranging from 170 to 310. That's quite the range of openers. And for that 170, it is Argo Erith, the Estonian. Lightning fast, don't blink.
You will miss it.
3 white lights, obviously a good lift. Very far of his personal best of 260. This is interesting. That might be a case of an injury or some sort of pain in the warm-up room, or he's just making the biggest jump possible. We'll see that later on in the day. But for now, it is Maripo Josip Katalinic from Croatia, 245.
Really nice.
Yep, nice opener. 3 white lights.
Three white lights and
And now you can see 5 spotters on the platform because in the rule book it is mandatory to have 5 spotters for weights from 200s to whatever.
bar is loaded.
And you may see 7 spotters if the weight gets really heavy. To 67.5 for Tina Valencic from Croatia. Pretty good looking first attempt for the Croatian. 3 white lights, a good lift.
275 on the bar for Česko.
And for those wondering the standings in terms of best lifter at the moment, in third from France, Corentin Clément, 113.80. In second position, the one and only Kiel Backlund in the 74s, 114.17. And leading by quite the margin, Adeo Misakin in the 83s, 116.40. Now on the platform, it's just Christian from Hungary, 275. 5 red plates already loaded on the bar.
Really nice. It's curious because Christian usually just does the first attempt and then he doesn't do any more lifts in any of the movements. So let's see if today he can perform all of the lifts. 2 to 1.
For the time being, he's yet to be on the board. That first attempt was judged high by 2 of the 3 referees on the platform.
Bar is loaded.
Next lifter is Tadej Kovacic from Slovenia, 277.5. The Slovenian record holder with 311.
This lifter has been in the game for quite a long time.
Yeah, 10 years.
Yeah. 2015, that's a long time. It's not common to see that, right?
Yep. And he knows that a quick fist bump with the spotters makes for good luck on the day. That's experience right there. Very smooth opener. 3 white lights, he's on the board. And the first junior of the flights, Helgi Sigurdsson from Iceland, 23 years old, competing already 4 years and opening with 280.
And he's competing really light on the weight class. He has for sure room to grow.
Yeah, weighing in at 113.56. That's indeed very light for 120. But he's still so young, he has time to fill the class with quality muscle mass to move some big weights. And another lovely opener. 3 white lights, he's on the board.
280 kilos stays on the bar for Casio Boys. Bar is loaded.
From Portugal, Cássio Gois, same opener of 280. It's nice to see more and more Portuguese lifters attacking Euros Open. He has a massive personal best of 312.5 kilos.
We're getting into some heavy squats right now.
Yup. And this is only the B group. The A group will follow the A group of the 76s at 4 in the afternoon today. Very controlled opener.
3 white lights.
285 on the bar for Percy.
It was really fast to see the depth, but I think he's going to be okay.
And that ticking sound you've heard was the clock almost running down. Once you hear that the bar is loaded, the lifter has 1 minute to set up and receive the squat command. It is 1 minute to receive the command, not to perform the squat. Now Percy Kovic from Germany, 285.
When you get into powerlifting, you realize how long a minute can be.
Yup. Pretty solid opener for the German. A 2 to 1, a no lift. It looked good from our side, but this is the side he got a white from. 2 red cars, one from the front, one from the left. An angle we'll see on the replay. And it does look high from that side. Very asymmetrical lifters.
He just needs to sink a little deeper.
Yeah, we see members of the jury telling him it was not very far off, but a few centimeters more will do him great. And this is a headache. Do you retake the weight? Do you bump up the attempt just a tiny bit? We'll see what he decides to do. But for now it is Daniel Polla from Switzerland to 87.5.
Also a lot of Swiss lifters this time in the European Championship.
Yes, we've seen a 105 hit a world record in the bench press. What does Daniel have in store for us today? Apparently a great squat, but a bit shaky at lockout. Still 3 white lights, a good lift. And the last opener is quite a big opener. Out of Denmark, Jasper Vogelius, 310. That would already be a personal best of 2.5 kilos. I mean, let's see it. 310 is a massive opener, especially in the B group.
Wow.
And it moves like an opener should.
I was looking for him because he nominated with 75 kilos on the nominations.
Oh.
So we didn't know exactly what to expect, and it's because he's moving up a weight class.
Oh, okay. But I think now we know what to expect. Opening above is registered personal best and now leading the class, followed by Daniel Polla from Switzerland and Elgis Sigurdsson from Iceland. Second round starts now with the Estonian Argo Eritz. 20 kilo jump from 170 to 190.
Wow.
Still very cautious with his attempts. With 3 white lights, a good lift.
I don't know if he has any sort of injury or something like that, but he usually makes these kind of big jumps between lifts. So this is what we can expect.
Next lifter out will be Marino Josip Katalinic from Croatia. A 15 kilo jump from 245 to 260. Very close of his personal best of 262.5.
really strong workout.
And really strong second attempt. 3 white lights, a good lift. Spacing for a personal best here today. Maybe not another thing chicken low jump, but something like 5, 7.5. Surely is in the cards for him. One of the 2 lifters yet to be on the board, Cesko Christian from Hungary, reattempting 275. It moved great, it was just a bit high.
I think
Times.
this is the right decision to repeat the weight and to secure the place in the board.
It surely looks deeper. And he's on the board, it's still 2-1.
Still one red light on that.
We'll obviously have a look at the replay in that case, and so will the jury, but it does look deep enough. Now on the platform is Tina Valincic from Croatia, 277.5, 10 kilo jump. Feeling the weight, finally unracking and walking out. 3 small steps, saving some energy. That's definitely more work.
Really nice. I believe he has been dealing with some sort of injury because in his last competition in December he could only manage to squat 75 kilos. So for sure something has been going on for him.
Hopefully not too big of a deal. And now a lifter that is also yet to be on the board, Persikovic from Germany, 285, opting to reattempt the weight after missing depth by a small margin, but still it was on the wrong side of the fence. Adjustments need to be made right now to cut the suspense for the German. Otherwise, this is going to cost him because he's a massive squatter. Was that any better for the referees on the platform?
It looked good to me. Yes.
Yes, it was indeed 3 white lights.
We have a lifter who is not going to be taking his 3rd attempt.
Yeah,
Argo Erit. We hope he's okay.
yeah, we were mentioning that he might be dealing with some sort of pain. It looks to be the case with him scratching his 3rd attempt. Tadje Kovacic from Slovenia, 295. $17.5 kilo jump, a sizable jump, even for a 120.
This lifter has been dealing with some pain also. He has made a huge comeback from the last years.
And as his singlet will say, I think he's building some great momentum in this SBD session. SBD, obviously one of the sponsors of the competition. They have a booth here with top-notch equipment, lifting belt, lifting straps, knee sleeves, and a special edition t-shirt of the competition. Might want to take a look. Get all the goods from SBD. Now back in the 300s we go with Helgi Sigurdsson from Iceland, a 20 kilo jump for a 5 kilo personal best.
he's really happy with that.
And with a 2-1
Let's bear in mind that he's still a junior.
Yep, a junior squatting 300 and getting 2 to 1. He gets a red card from that side we are looking at the replay.
Is loaded.
Jury took a look. They seem to be satisfied. This is what they are here for.
And now onto a 25 kilo jump.
Yep, 305 for Cassiogois from Portugal.
Time is running for him, but I think he will be able to get the squat command.
Yeah, 12 more seconds. He's gonna beat the buzzer. Yes, he does. It's a grinder.
Looks good to me. 2 to 1. It's a good lift. The problem with those kind of setups that take a lot of time is that if you get a re-rack, you may be in trouble.
Yep, definitely. You need to be very confident with your game and your setup to do that. But he made great use of the whole minute. But the jury has overruled this squat. The squat will be ruled a no lift. And it took quite a lot of effort for Cassiogois. Is he going to be able to repeat the efforts? We'll see that in the third round. But for now, he'll stand on his opener. Same weight, 305, loaded for Daniel Pola from Switzerland. And quite a big jump also for him. From 287.5 to 305. But his opener looked lightning fast. Just a slight hiccup at lockouts. More precision will be needed this time.
No problem here.
Yep, 3 white lights, a good lift, and 2 for 2.
Our final second attempt of the group 322.5 for Jesper Vogelius of Denmark.
Wow, this is a massive squat.
Yep, 322.5 for Jesper Vergilius from Denmark. 12.5 kilo jump. He opened with a personal best. Looking to improve by 12.5 kilos on his second attempt.
If he decides to stay in this weight class, for sure he's going to be soon in the A group.
Absolutely. This is a squat that is looking to compete with the elites of the 120s. And this is only a second attempt. Make it move, Jesper. Yeah, I see what you did there. Here, he might have lost positioning, but recovered. Not enough to get white lights though. 2 to 1, a no lift, 1 yellow. I'm not so sure what that one would be for, but the red card I can get behind. It looked borderline. Jury's gonna look at it. They don't seem to be unanimous. They will need to be to overturn. They are discussing it. And they press the button. The jury has overruled. It will be ruled a good lift for Jesper Vergilius. And that does him a great favor. Is now well in the lead in this big group of the 120s. Already in the third round we go.
And now for a 7.5 personal best.
Yeah, 10 kilo jump for that amount of a personal best. Marino Josip Katalinic from Croatia, 270. And this one's gonna be a good lift. 3 white lights, so a new personal best as you mentioned.
And now a more conservative jump. a 5 kilo jump.
Bar is loaded.
Too much. His current PB.
Yep, Tin Valencic aiming to take a shot at 282.5. That same setup, feeling the weight before unracking completely. The same 3 small steps, and he receives the squat command. Lovely third attempt out of Tin Valencic.
This is what a third attempt should look like, right?
Yup, I fully agree. 3 white lights, like an RP 9.5, but not a full 10 to save some gas for the rest of the competition. He has 6 more attempts to go in 2 different events. You don't want to be gassed out after 3 attempts. Now the German, Persikovic. He had to repeat his opener of 285, and I'm not so sure he's going to be coming out for that third attempt.
No, me
Something
neither.
must be going on with the German.
Yeah, only a 2.5 kilo jump means that maybe he didn't give a third attempt.
Probably, and we are going to use those 30 seconds to thank one of our sponsors here, Maniac Fitness. They provided us with 7 brand new racks for the warm-up room, 1 rack for the platform and 1 rack to decide which rack height you want. So 9 brand new racks just for this competition to have the best condition possible for our lifters. It is absolutely key to have that same pad, the same equipment in the warm-up room to perform the best, and Maniac helped a lot with that. So huge shout out to Maniac Fitness, the official premium and presenting partner of the EPF. So obviously no lift for the German. Now into the Hungarian Jesko Christian 295, a 20 kilo jump onto what was supposed to be his opener, but he had to retake it on his second attempt for lack of depth.
And still a big jump, 20 kilos.
Yeah, this one's for 5 kilo personal best. We'll wait on the lights for this one. 3 white lights, a good lift. His best attempt so far, no red lights. Very convincing. He made the adjustments and got 2 squats on the board. 5 more squats to go, all in the 300s. Tajja Kovacic from Slovenia, 307.5. 12.5 kilo jump.
Not really far from his personal best.
Opening with 277.5 and ending on 307.5. Great pacing for the Slovenian. What an effort. 3 white lights.
As
A good lift.
Amelia would say, phenomenal effort.
Absolutely phenomenal effort. Amelia would be back on board with us this afternoon for the A session at 4 o'clock. You don't want to miss it. The 74 and 120 A group. Some top-notch lifting. Cássio Góes from Portugal opting to jump 2.5 kilos after missing 305 on depth. It did get overturned by the jury, so you'll need to please the referees on the platform, make it unanimous for the jury not to intervene. 3 white lights are needed for Góes Cássio from Portugal. might have lost tension here at the bottom. He's losing out on a lot of kilos. He'll stand on his opener of 280 after having squatted 305.
It was a risky decision to add some more weight to the bar.
I fully agree. I fully agree. That will cost him a lot. A huge chunk of his total is gone, unfortunately. 312.5 for Helge Sigurdsson from Iceland. 12.5 kilo jump for that same amount of a personal best. The junior having a great squat event in this 120B group. Make it precise, make it move.
What a fight, but it was close.
It was indeed very close.
I thought he would get it.
I think he would have got 310, but 312.5 just wasn't there. But it is easy to call once the lift is done. Great effort nonetheless. We have two more squats to go to close out the round. 320 and 330 for Daniel Pola and Jesper Vigilius. For now it is Daniel Pola from Switzerland. 320 is a 15 kilo jump for 2.5 kilo personal best. And improving on that kind of weight is amazing. I can even fathom having that kind of weight on my back.
Oh,
That was very deep, but unfortunately too heavy for him today. No lift. We have one final lift remaining in this squat session. Jesper Vigilius. 7.5 kilo jump on what was already a personal best. We didn't know what to expect out of him since he moved a weight class. Apparently, it did him very well.
this is a squad deserving to be on the A group.
Probably, yes. And he's still pretty light in the class. He weighed in at 116.54. Not a full on 120 yet. And already attempting 330. What can you say?
Wow. And he smiles. He has the energy to smile.
Yeah, he knew this one's gonna be 3 white lights. And that closes out the flights for the 120s. Some great squat action and one squat that might defeat some of the A group. What more can you ask for in the B group? A quick summary before we get into a 10-minute break. In third for the time being, Daniel Pola with 305. Second position, Taja Kovacic from Slovenia, 307.5. And with that massive 330 from Denmark, Jesper Vigilius. We'll be back in 10 minutes for some great bench press. See you then. Back in action here at the 2025 European Open Classic Powerlifting Championship in Malaga, Spain. We've just witnessed two great squat sessions for the 76B group and the 120B group. We'll be heading straight into the bench press, starting off with the 76s. And obviously, I'm still with the great Laura Oviedo.
Hello, Alex. I'm looking forward to see the bench session.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. We've had some great squat, hopefully some great bench openers, and then maybe some grinders. This is what we love to see. Openers ranging from 67.5 to 115. for our 1376. So the first opener goes to Katia Vinaga from Portugal, matching her personal best with her first attempt.
And once again, she is opening the heaviest she has ever opened. For sure, this is matching her personal best, so
Not the best of opener, but still getting a feel for the rhythm of the chief referee. 3 white lights, a good lift. Benches the lift with the most commands at the number 3. But start, press, and rack. Chief referee really dictates the rhythm, and you want to make it easy on the chief referee to call for the commands. Stabilize the bar really quickly to preserve energy and get a nice and sweet press command.
I think bench is also one of the hardest movements to judge as a
Mhm.
referee because you need to pay attention to a lot of things that are happening
Absolutely.
at the same time.
We'll explain later on when the colors come up, but we're hoping for some whites. Now Natalia Korusina, 67.5.
Really nice opener.
Yes, everything's looking nice. 3 white lights, she's on the board.
Especially on bench when it's a technical movement, you want to make sure that the opener is easy, comfortable.
Bar is loaded.
Bars now loaded for the other Latvian, Linda Suna, 75.
And this is matching her personal best also.
Nice soft touch, very controlled.
And a really big arch too.
Yeah, but still she gets no red card for that, so very optimized technique. We have a great angle on the replay thanks to the EPF media team.
Bar is loaded.
It makes for a proper judgment of the referees in the jury. Opening with 80 kilos is Marta Lopez from Portugal.
Really clean.
Still waiting on the left hand side referee to give his call, but no lift.
Maybe it was the glutes not maintaining contact with the bench. I cannot see from the
Yeah, a yellow
replay.
card means a technical foul, so either she missed the command or one of her points of contact left the bench. It could be the head, the butt, or the feet lift enough in the air. We'll have a closer look at that, but she's yet to be on the board. Opening with 87.5 is Nusa Selesnik from Slovenia. Strong opener.
Really fast.
3 white lights and a good lift. 90 kilos on the bar for Mia Kovacs. Anymore. Be ready.
And for 2 attempts in the 90s we go. Starting off with Mia Kovacs from Ireland. She had a strong squat session. Finishing off with the new Irish record. Opening with 90 kilos, 7.5 kilos shy of her personal best. somewhat of a mini sink at the bottom with 3 white lights, a good lift.
95 kilos on the bar for Rosa Elino Sabadell. Followed by Top and Zelemanova.
And for those who are not very familiar with powerlifting, Laura, can you tell us what's the difference between a soft touch and a sink?
Wow, a soft touch is just letting the bar touch briefly your chest.
Mm-hmm.
As long as the bar is steady, the front referee will give you the
Press
press
command?
command. Yeah, that's it. And when you sink the bar, you need to make pressure. Like, I don't know how to say it, but you need to put the chest in your chest.
Yeah, so the bar collapses in the chest and you use the elasticity and more of an aggressive leg drive to push the bar up.
Yeah, exactly. That was what I want to say, but I didn't.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot, I'm sorry. So now moving on to Rosa Rimo Sabadell, 95 kilos for the Spanish grinder, but we're yet to see her grind. I mean, she's been on cruise control, 3 white lights, a good lift.
100 kilos on the bar for our next 3 athletes. First
I think she's having a really great day today. She's feeling confident and strong.
To be followed by Velemanova and Petresi.
And the first one to open with 100 is Doth Eniko from Hungary. This is a huge milestone for any lifter, and for some a lifetime goal. For her it's an opener.
And it's 3 white lights.
Yeah, very convincing opener. I think she's gonna load up her personal best on the second and aim for a nice and juicy third, hoping for a PB on the third. Still 100 kilos, this time from Valerie Venemanova from Czechia. Same opener and the same PB as Doth Eniko. And this one's a soft touch.
Yeah, the perfect example, I think.
3 white lights, nicely executed. And would you agree that bench press is maybe the most technical lift out of the 3?
Yeah, I would say so. For some lifters more than the others, but for sure, for her, she is a technical lift.
I feel like since you have the most commands and the most joints involved, so many things can go wrong in the bench press. It is so difficult to perform a great bench press. But these ladies seem to have it down. Opening with 100 is Fanny Petricevic from Hungary.
And this could mean 5 personal best for her. 5 kilo.
Yeah, just
personal
like
best.
that. She opens with a 5 kilo personal best. What can you say? The Hungarian is looking strong today. We're still waiting on 1 light, but feeling pretty confident about this one. Yeah, 3 white flags in the air, and the 3 white lights I've just turned on. It's a good lift. 3 openers to go. We have 105 lined up twice. The first one being for Justina Sarsek and then Barbara Juskova.
She has one of the strongest squats in this flight and also one of the strongest benches.
A well-rounded lifter who's made some great progress. She opened with a personal best in the squat. She's now opening with a 10 kilo personal best in the bench press. And 3 white lights, just like that, a personal best.
She's really clean technique-wise in all the lifts that I have seen from her.
You can see that right arm just a bit late to lock out compared to the left one.
But that's not problem, right? That's
That's
allowed
not a
to do.
problem for the referees, but you don't want to make that any more different than it is right now for it not to be too difficult to lock out. So as mentioned earlier, 105 for Barbara Juskova from Czechia, the Czech record holder of the bench in the 76s. And 3 white lights, a good lift. She had me worried there for a second about elbow depth. We'll have a look at the replay. That left elbow is looking better on the replay than what I was expected, but you don't want it any higher up than this, I feel. And the last one to open is the German Hélène Marie Eckart. 1:15 to match our personal best.
A really strong opener.
Yep, fresh out the juniors, still making great progress. Looking good, 3 white lights. All but 1 lifter on the board. We are only missing the Portuguese Marta Lopes.
70 kilos for the Turcina and Lopez.
Yeah, that was a great first attempt.
Bar is
Very
loaded.
explosive off the chest. So for now, she leads the class, followed by Barbara Juskova and Justina Sarek. But this is going to go in all kinds of direction, especially with the A group later on at 4 in the afternoon. We have some great benchers. I'm thinking about Laura Motalin, who's going to bench maybe something along the lines of 147.5, 150.
Wow.
Can you imagine for a 76? That is absolutely massive. $70 kilos, a 2.5 kilo jump for Katia Vinac from Portugal. Yeah, no lift. No lift. I think that's more of a technical issue here.
She didn't look happy with the first attempt, but
Bar is loaded.
all the competition is still going on, so maybe she can manage to get this time.
Yeah, I think her left elbow was more tucked in than the right. It made for an asymmetrical pressing movement, which is very difficult in the bench press. So no lift for the Portuguese. And now attempting a 5 kilo jump, 72.5 for Natalia Krusina from Latvia. Solid second attempt.
Yeah, looking good.
White lights and a good lift, 80 kilos on the bar. Second time for Marta Lopez.
So lifter, we really want to see get on the board. Marta Lopes from Portugal, reattempting 8 kilos.
Bar is
It was all yellows her last time out on the platform. Corrections to be made for the Portuguese.
Yeah, she doesn't need to be worried about her strength. It's a technical issue, so she just needs to fix that. Easier said than done, but
True, but you're right, she's strong enough. Wait for the commands. Maintain points of contact. That should be good enough, right?
it looks good to me. And it's 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1. A good lift. Still 1 yellow card from the left-hand side referee. That would be for the butt lifting off the bench. Is that the case? We can see some light, but I think she always maintains some sort of contact.
Mm-hmm.
It will be up to the jury to decide. I don't think they want to intervene. Yes, the lift will stand. Marta Lopes will stay on the board, which is good. We have another 5 kilo jump for us. Linda Suna, the Latvian, going from 75 to 80 kilos. And Laura, I think that would be a 5 kilo personal best.
Yeah, that's it. She definitely has more today. It's a good lift.
True. 3 white lights. I think here you should make the sensible decision of only going 2.5 more kilos. She's already well into personal best territory. You don't want to overreach and bite more than you can chew. Collect as many kilos as possible and keep the momentum going. Mentally, it is very different to enter deadlift with a 6 for 6 or a 5 for 6. Mia Kovacs from Ireland, 95. It's a 5 kilo jump for the Irish. That same mini sink and an aggressive leg drive. 2 the 1. A good lift, but a yellow from the left hand side referee. We'll have a look at the replay. We know she has an aggressive leg drive. Did the butt lift off the bench? I think it did.
I don't know, but maybe Mia. Oh,
Yeah, the jury has overruled. They seem to agree. That butt was up in the air after the aggressive leg drive. No lift for Mia Kovacs. Great call from the left hand side referee. Now quite a bigger jump for 76, 7.5 kilos from 87.5 to 95 for Nusa Selesnik, but I think that's what she's used to doing, right?
yeah, she is.
And she makes easy work of it. An unusual strategy, but that seems to be working for her. 3 white lights. It's great to see different lifters having a different approach at bench press. And it makes for a more difficult subtotal to read. Attempting 100 kilos, a 5 kilo jump, Rosa Erimo Sabadell from Spain. To be honest, we are yet to see her struggle.
Yeah, maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe she has shifted from her style of lifting.
Maybe she's just so strong today, having a great outing so far. Rosa aiming to pace for personal best on her third. Her best ever bench is 102.5. This is not so far off, so that will give us a hint as to what she has left in the tank. She looks very much in control of that bar. 3 white lights, a good lift for Rosa. Another athlete that's looking good so far, thus Eniko from Hungary, jumping 5 kilos to match her personal best of 105. And that's the experience right there. Just having a quick look, checking if the weight is correct. But no misload so far from our Spanish spotting crew. Can you imagine? 4 straight days with multiple flights a day and no misload. They're just so good. And someone that's good is Eniko Thought. 3 white lights, a solid second attempt. But I think there's nowhere else to go here than a 2.5. It's going to be a scrappy one. Also attempting 105 is Valerie Velemanova from Czechia.
This matches her current personal best.
And like that, it's more difficult, but still a great bench. 3 white lights.
She really gets the command really quick because she makes clear when the bar is stopped at the chest.
And a second attempt that seems to be popular. 105 once again, but this time for Fanny Petrasevic from Hungary. 5 kilo jump for what seems to be a 5 kilo personal best attempt. 20 more seconds to receive the start command. Plenty of time.
Come on!
Yeah, that bar had dipped anyway on the right side. I think it was smart saving some gas and cancel the attempt. I think it looked more of a technical issue, something she may be able to correct on her third. Would you agree?
Yeah, and she can, for sure, she can lift this. Like, it's not a matter of strength, I think.
Also jumping 5 kilos but from 105 to 110 is Justyna Sarek from Poland.
5 kilo personal best attempt.
A bit unstable at the bottom, but still it goes up.
Looking really, really strong.
Yep, 3 white lights. It's a good lift. And we have 2 more second attempts to go. 110 for Barbara Yuskova and 120 for Hélène Marie Eckhardt from Germany. Some strong benches. So this one's 110 for Barbara, 5 kilo jump. Could not be closer of a personal best of 110.5.
Really easy for a second attempt.
And the left hand side referee having troubles with the lights.
It's a
Now
good
they're up.
It's a good lift. 3 white lights. For sure she's going to look for a PB.
Yeah, there's nowhere else to go there. That is for sure. And someone that's looking for a PB is Hélène Marie Eckhardt with that 120. Still very fast on the way down, but pretty much as fast on the way up. 3 white lights for the German. That's a 5 kilo personal best with 1 more attempt to go.
Didn't seem like a second attempt to me. It was so easy.
So for the time being, she's obviously in the lead, followed by Barbara Yuskova and Justyna Sarek. 13 more attempts for these ladies, and the A group will have 3 more attempts later on in the day at 4 in the afternoon.
Let's see how it goes for Katia, since she's not having the best day on bench today.
Yeah, she missed 70 kilos. She's re-attempting it. She needs to be in control. I think she might have met the command here. A
Yeah,
bit
me too.
worried. Yeah, it turns out she did. Some yellows.
Yeah, and I think the jury is going to agree.
Yeah, I think it was pretty clear at full speed that she anticipated the command. 75, the third attempt for Natalia Kurusina from Latvia. A match personal best, and to optimize her changes, her coach has decided to ask the chief referee to maybe clean up the bench. Too much chalk on it makes for a slippery bench.
You know, I really love to see how these lifters have hobbies and interests behind the sport. And Natalia, she's a bassist,
Okay,
and I believe she plays in a band.
so a trainer and a bassist, a double threat, artistic and strong. So maybe a beautiful and musical third bench attempt for Natalia Kurusina. And dare I say, She's gonna end on a high note this bench press session.
Wow.
Oh,
That's a
more
fight.
fight. Unable to lock it out. No lift for the Latvian. Oh, it was almost there.
Yeah, it's so sad. But it's difficult to fight like that, a bench, and still pushing.
Yeah, the most frustrating place to miss a bench, just that lockout. And aiming for a personal best on her third, Linda Suna from Latvia, 82.5, 2.5 kilo jump for that same amount of a personal best.
She's having an amazing competition today.
The B group is really a place where the lifters develop, and we'll see who will be a threat for the A group.
Oh,
No lifts, too heavy this time. Marta Lopez from Portugal. She had to retake her opener because she missed the commands. She got it pretty easily on her second. She's now jumping 5 kilos for a 2.5 kilo personal best. 85 is loaded on the bar.
maybe this was the plan A for the second attempt, but she had to retake the opener, so plan B.
Yep, plan B, plan bench. She needs that attempt to build the subtotal and have the day she was hoping for. It looks more like a third, but she grinds it out. 2-1, a good lift. However, a yellow light from the right side referee. What could that be for? I think it's still a call for butt lifting off the bench, but I think it's just a case of an aggressive leg drive. She still maintains at least 1 point of contact. It will be up to the discretion of the jury to decide whether or not they want to overrule that. And they don't seem to want to. The lift will stand. But one lifter that had her lift overruled is Mia Kovac from Ireland. She's reattempting 95. She needs to keep that butt on the bench. Was it the case this time? Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
3 white lights. The Irish team has some huge support today.
Yeah. They've been energized all week long. I'm not surprised. And their energy is contagious for their lifters on the platform. A good luck fist bump and a bar loaded at 100 kilos for Nusa Selesnik from Slovenia, 5 kilo jump.
And this could mean a 2.5 kilo personal best for her. No, I'm sorry. Too heavy.
Yeah, it's not here today. But she seems to be in good spirits, ready to start her deadlift warm-up. And she'll have plenty of time to warm up because right after the 76 B group, we have the 120 B group benching. Back-to-back 5 kilo jump for Rosa Rimo Sabadell. 105 loaded on the bar for 2.5 kilo personal best.
She attempted this 1 year ago, but she couldn't get it. Maybe today is the day.
Dare I say she's gonna get it on her ultima attempts? And I know, Laura, you're smiling behind your mic. It is 3 white lights for Rosa.
Wow, she's having an amazing day.
Yes, 6 for 6 so far for Rosa. She's been looking really strong. Now reattempting 105 is Fanny Petricevic from Hungary. A bit of a technical issue, a slack misgroove on her second attempt. Hoping to correct the matter.
Yeah, she's definitely strong today, so she could get it.
And that would mean a 5 kilo personal best from the Hungarian. And apparently one of her fingers is not covering the ring. The widest grip you can get is the index finger covering the ring. She has 7 more seconds to get the press command. I don't think she'll beat the buzzer. Yes, she gets the command with 2 seconds left on the clock.
Oh,
But unracking the bar twice makes for a way difficult attempt. I think she's quite surprised. She was not looking at her index fingers that were not covering the rings. So she guesses out and only get 1 attempt. And a roar from the crowd for thought Eniko from Hungary. 107.5, a 2.5 kilo jump for that same amount of a personal best. We know that the third bench attempt can get grindy. Expecting a fight out of Tatheniko. And it is a fight, but it goes
Wow.
up. 3 white lights, a good lift, 3 for 3, and 6 for 6 for the Hungarian. 107.5 for Valerie Velemanova from Czechia.
I think we can expect a fight here too.
I agree, it's a 2.5 kilo jump, but on those kind of weight for those lifters, it makes a world of a difference, especially when it's a PB attempt, and that's the case for the Czech. You mentioned it was going to be a fight. It was going to be 50-50 anyway, but no lift. She doesn't lose out on a lot of kilos. She made the smallest jump possible, so no regrets. She attempted it. Strength just wasn't there.
No more changes to the openers. No more changes.
The last attempt for Justyna Starek from Poland is 112.5. She already hit a massive personal best of 15 kilos. Her registered PB was 95 before the competition. Could you imagine walking out with 112.5? Stellar improvements. It's gonna be too heavy. She's gonna be walking out with 110 still. Massive improvements.
Seems a small jump, 2.5 kilos, but percentage-wise, it's a lot.
Absolutely. Almost 5%. Two more bench presses before we head into the 120s. Barbora Yuskova 115, back-to-back 5 kilo jumps. She once in the past hit a Czech record of 110.5. This is 4.5 kilos over that. Still very much in control. Nice soft touch. 3 white lights and a solid third attempt for the Czech. And she seemed to have liked that end off.
Look how happy she is. Maybe that means a new record for the country.
Could be.
Is loaded.
Last attempt loaded for Hélène Marie Cart from Germany, 122.5. The smallest jump of 2.5 kilos.
So clean.
Bit of suspense with one light missing, but we're not too worried.
It's 3 white lights. Amazing effort.
That closes out the bench press session for the 76B group. In third position for the time being from Poland, Justyna Sarek with 110. In provisional silver medal position, Barbara Juskova from Czechia, 115. And in the lead, but with a lot more bench presses to go at 4 in the afternoon, Hélène Marie Eckart from Germany, 122.5. We're going to be directly jumping into the bench press of the 120B group, openers ranging from 152.5 to 200 kilos. Eric Argo, who looked to be injured in the squat, doesn't seem to be injured at all in the bench press event. We'll see that in about 10 attempts. For now, it is 152.5 for Tadej Kovacic from Slovenia.
Really smooth. How an opener should move.
Next lifter out is Marino Josip from Croatia, 155. He's only been competing 2 years, so we might expect some progress from him. And for those not so familiar with powerlifting at home, Laura, can you tell us what's that white powder on the back of the lifters?
It's chalk. It's used to not slip on the board.
Yeah, it creates friction. It helps to maintain position on the bench, and it is well written in the rulebook that it is authorized.
And they use them to also in the hands for the deadlift, so the bar won't slip from the hands.
Absolutely. And it is up to personal preferences whether you want no chalk, liquid chalk, or solid chalk. And some is provided here by the Spanish Federation. Opening with 165 is Tin Valencic from Croatia.
Looks good to me.
He makes great use of that small sink. White flags up in the air. It's a good lift. 170 for Česko Christian from Hungary. Pretty close to his PB of 175. Another sink, but we are gonna have to get used to it because it is very, very common in those bigger weight classes. It's a good lift for the Hungarian. One thing with the sink is that it's harder to stabilize the bar, and it usually makes for longer press commands. It is the downside of the sink. You have to adapt to what's best for you. It is up to personal preferences and leverages.
And now on to 3 red plates.
Yep, 175 for Helgi Sigurdsson from Iceland. And that bar looks good. I'm chasing it in training. Helgi is opening with it right now.
It's a good milestone to chase, right?
Absolutely. And His bench is more of a soft touch, and that suits him well. 3 white lights, a good lift.
85 on the bar for Casio Ruiz, followed by Solich and Paula. The bar is loaded.
Bars now loaded for the Portuguese Castro Gois, 185. He lost on a lot of kilos in the squat, only walking away with his opener of 280 after missing 305 and 307.5. He'll need to cover some ground without overreaching in the bench press event. Let's see how this one moves.
Looks good to me.
Yeah, very convincing. As was his first attempt in the squat event, to be fair. 4 more openers to go. We have Persikovic, 195. Another one of those lifters that only walked away with 1 squat. He hit 285 on his second attempt. He's opening with 195, which is massive and very close to his personal best of 202.5. Dare I say, only 1 jump away. Three white legs.
I would say it was a very good opener.
Yeah, nothing to say about that one.
Followed by Vogelius and Eric.
Opening with the same weights of 195, Daniel Pola from Switzerland. And thanks to the spotters, the bar is being brushed for our better grip and better hand positioning. So keen the bench press. Pretty underrated, I think. Bar's now loaded.
And here he is.
I don't know if you've heard the crowd, but someone said easy, and it was indeed easy. 3 white lights.
No problem with Dev and no problem with anything. 3 white lights.
Yeah, pretty much. It was just like an opener should be. 2 more openers to go. We have 197.5 for Jesper Vigilius. He walked away with a massive squat of 330, one that might be able to compete with the A group later on in the day.
Easy. He's a really balanced lifter.
Right, and it looks to be well-rounded. 3 white legs, a good lift. Is he a real threat for the A group later on? If he keeps on building that total, surely he will be. With a forecasted total of 832.5 for the time being, with 5 more attempts to go, he could be.
Yeah, and for sure he's going to take big jumps. So
Yeah, he's that kind of guy.
let's see.
Last opener, he belongs to Argo Irit from Estonia, 200. That would be more than what he squatted. To be fair, that is impressive. And there he goes. 3 white lights, a good lift.
And a 3 of green for our bench press overnight. That's what we love to see. Moving into round
Everyone's on the
two,
board. That's a good
160
sight
kilos
for the
for
120B group.
Tadej Kovacic, to be followed by Katarinic and Valinci.
So as we speak, it is obviously the Estonian Algorit leading the charge with that 200, followed closely by Jasper Vigilius and Daniele Pola. Opening the second round is Tadej Kovacic from Slovenia, 160, that's a 7.5 kilo jump.
It looks really nice to me, and it's 3 white lights. It's funny to see the same jumps between the 76 and the 120 categories.
Bars now loaded for Marino Josip Katalinic from Croatia, 162.5, 7.5 kilo jump. Still pretty explosive.
Easy.
2 to 1, a good lift.
With a yellow light from the side referee.
And the media team is so reactive, giving us the side angle to see what that yellow could be for. I'm not so sure there's been any lifting of the butt or the feet, nor the head. So not so sure what that yellow could be for. On the platform, 175 is loaded for Tina Valentic from Croatia. It's a 10 kilo jump. Way more difficult than his opener, but it's a second attempt. What can we expect? Still 3 white lights, but he'll for sure make a smaller jump from the second to the third. Same weight of 175, but a smaller jump of 5 kilos for Česko Christian from Hungary.
This is too much. His current personal best.
And it's a good lift.
Looking strong today, Christian.
And what would you add on to that? 2.5, 5, 10, 20?
I'm more of a conservative person, you know, in that regard, and maybe 2.55.
Okay. So maybe back-to-back 5 kilo jump for a new PB for Česko Christian in the third round. 10 kilo jump for Helgi Sigurdsson from Iceland, from 175 to 185. This one's for 5 kilo personal best. And should we remind you that it is still the only junior lifter competing with the opens in the 120s. We'll have one in the A group though. Oh, it's a difficult one.
I think he has had some trouble with the position, with the initial position.
Yeah, it looked like a different bar path than his first attempt.
A little bit more shaky, I think. But he could manage to get it on the third attempt.
Yeah, his elbows couldn't quite open the same as he did on his opener. A technical matter to take into account to correct on the third. Another 10 kilo jump this time for Cássio Gois from Portugal from 185 to 195. He wants to do better than what he did in the squat, only walking away with 280's opener. So perhaps a more conservative strategy here. Three white lights, a good lifts. A much better attempt selection here. Bar is loaded now for the German, Persikovic, 202.5. It's a 7.5 kilo jump for a match personal best on the second. I think that bar had dipped anyway.
The spotters were really, really quick.
Let's have a look at the replay to try and figure what happened for the German. This is where he lost it. And you can see his massive squats contracts, which means the leg drive was not consistent all throughout the movement. That might be one of the issues here for the German. 3 more attempts to go in the second round of bench press for the 120B group. 205 for Daniele Pola from Switzerland. And for those just tuning in, yes, this is the B group, even though they lift massive weight. The A group will take place later on in the day at 4 in the afternoon. A flight mixed with one group of the 76's A group and the 120A group. Some elite level of lifting taking place today in Malaga, Spain. So back to the action with Daniele Pola, 205. 25 more seconds to receive the start command. That should be enough, right, Laura?
Yeah. As we said before, a minute is long.
Great sink. Then this one was more of a deeper sink. He made great use of it. 3 white lights. But as mentioned earlier, he had a longer press command because the chief referee needs to know that he won't go deeper. This is where he pauses. He gets it. It went up. 3 white lights. Now into someone that is showing out here today. Jesper Vigilius from Denmark. A 10 kilo jump from 197.5 to 207.5. A 7.5 kilo personal best on his second. So
Wow.
strong.
Wow, this is amazing.
He's looking so strong today. He's made improvements on every lift so far, with 1 more attempt to go in the bench press for him. He's strong, he's looking strong, and that new 120 kilo class is doing him very well, and still only at 116. 210 now for the Estonian Argo Eritz. 10 kilo jump. Without the squat of his, it's going to be difficult to reach his PB of 800 in total, but he might be pacing for a match personal best in the bench press event, depending on how this one moves. And this one moves well.
Looks really good to me. Anyway, he's used to make huge jumps on deadlifts too, so maybe we can see maybe he doesn't tie his personal best on total, but he will be close.
Yeah, hopefully only the deadlift, only the squat was impacted by his injury, and deadlift is fine. But for now, he leads the bench press, followed by Jesper Vigilius and Daniel Pola, with a lot of bench press to go. 10 more attempts here in the B group of the 120s. Third attempt ranging from 162.5 to 220, and Tadija Kovacic is kicking us off right now with that 2.5 kilo jump. Great job, 3 white lights, 3 for
He's
3
having-
in the bench press.
He's having such an amazing competition, and I think he deserves it. He has been dealing with some pain, as we said before, so it's always a pleasure to see a lifter come back like this.
It takes a lot of mental strength to come back strong in powerlifting, and that's what he's doing here today in front of our eyes. Props to him. 170 now for Marino Josip Katalinic from Croatia. 7.5 kilo jump. Personal best attempt of 2.5 kilos. And did that look like a third to you?
Not really, and neither for him.
Yeah, that looked very convincing for a third. Nicely done. Bars now did a 5 kilo jump from 175 to 180 for Tin Valencic from Croatia. This one's also for 2.5 kilo, personal best.
He fights, but today is not the day.
Yeah, no lift, unfortunately, no lift. 2 for 3 in the bench press event for the Croatian. Same weight, same jump for Česko Christian from Hungary, but this time for 5 kilo personal best. That was a great call. It was the correct weight. 3 white lights, a good lift, and a new personal best. Bars now loaded for Iggy Sigurdsson from Iceland. He's reattempting 185 that he missed for what seemed like a technical issue, Laura.
Yeah, I think this is the right decision to repeat the weight.
He had troubles reopening his elbows after the bar left the chest. He could get it should he correct the matter. But this is very much top end strength also for him. His PB is 180. And this time his feet sleeped.
Wow.
No lift for the Icelandic lifter. Not the best outing in the bench press event. He'll need to regain some momentum with his deadlift opener, but a lot of lifting to go for him to create a great total.
I haven't seen any lifter complaining about the platform being slippery, but maybe this becomes an issue from now on because
It also depends on the kind of shoe you're wearing. Here we have Cassiogois, who is opting to go with heels. Small drops. It is also up to personal preferences to see what suits you best in terms of leg drive and feet positioning on the floor. He's attempting 200 kilos, a 5 kilo jump. Too difficult this time. No lift for the Portuguese. I think that was the correct call anyway. His second attempt was very convincing. He looks to be cramping up a bit. Maybe that was an issue in terms of positioning, but he'll have time to rehydrate a bit, mobilize, and get ready for deadlifts. The last 4 attempts, we have Persikovic from Germany, re-attempting 202.5. This is his register PB. He missed it on the second. We've seen him also struggle with leg drive. Much better.
Yeah. Now he got it.
That was much better. Very convincing. And it looks like what could have been a second attempt, so it was a correct decision. Just a technical matter on the second. So 2 for 3 in the bench press. Now someone who's been on point so far, the Danish Jesper Vigilius, attempting 210 kilos. He already broke his personal best. He's standing strong on 207.5. Looking to add 2.5 more onto that. Looks like he's getting it.
Yeah, he definitely knows how to select the attempts. It's a good lift.
6 for 6 and some great momentum. And just based on his deadlift opener, he's already looking at a 15 kilo personal best.
Wow.
Absolutely massive. The last 2 bench presses, we have Daniela Pola from Switzerland and Argo Erit from Estonia. The first one being 212.5 kilos for the Swiss lifter. It's a 7.5 kilo jump. Just 2.5 kilos shy of his personal best of 215. Collecting kilos to build the total here today.
These are some massive benches right now.
Yeah, these 2 benches could very much compete with the A group. A proper setup to extract maximum performance on that third bench attempt. 212.5 it is. Once again a great swing, but he lost the bar path. No lift.
It's
for the
difficult to
Swiss.
fight
Oh
at
yeah.
this point.
Especially with the sink, such an explosive exit of the chest. If the bar doesn't follow the correct direction, it is very hard to recover. Last bench press, Argorit from Estonia. You've mentioned he was used to taking big jumps, so back-to-back 10 kilo jumps for him. Looking
Not-
to match his personal best of 220.
Not his day on squats, but definitely on bench.
Some hyperventilating to get the adrenaline flowing. 15 seconds to receive the start command. Is he gonna beat the buzzer? Yes.
Come on.
Wow. Looking really strong.
And that is 3 white lights and a good lead. Ladies and gentlemen, congrats.
What can you say? 3 white lights, a good lift. He leads the 120 kilo class as bench closes out.
7 minutes to change your opener.
A quick recap before we head into a short 10-minute break before deadlifts. In third position for the time being from Switzerland, Daniel Pola with 205. Second position, Jesper Virgilius with 210. And in the lead, the Estonian Argo Erit with a huge 220. So like I said, a quick 10-minute break. We'll be back for some deadlift action.
The deadlift is the last movement of the powerlifting competition. On that movement, the lifter's whole body is used and put to the test. The athlete approaches the bar once the central referee calls bar loaded. He then has 1 minute to start the lift. In the conventional or sumo position, the athlete has to pull the barbell until his shoulders, hips, and knees are fully locked. Once that position is assumed by the lifter, the central referee will give the down command. The bar has to be lowered to the ground without the lifter being allowed to drop it until it touches the floor, which completes the lift. At the end of deadlift, the powerlifting total is made, which determines the winner and final placings. There are 4 main mistakes to avoid. First, not locking your shoulders, hips, or knees at the end of the movement. Second, not completing the lift with a single upward bar movement. Third, completing the lift hitching at the legs in order to allow you to do so. Fourth, dropping the bar after the central referee down command.
And a good lift, 3 white lights for Coco, which puts him right in the running up there with Sturgakis and Norling, ladies and gentlemen.
A lot of people talking about Norling versus Sturgakis heading into this, so how does it feel to kind of put your name back in the ring?
I think people just always try to, predict what will happen based on what you see in training, which doesn't necessarily translate to what you will do. And in the end, what matters is the platform, so I'm happy with what happened.
You are very much in a fight for the podium. This is not the time to try and bite more than you can chew.
Today, so if you saw, when I pulled 350, I think I was at 895, which was the total I did like 5 times. And I was like, okay, I need to stop that curse. So, I was like, I have to pull this. I had the potential to do it, but then you need to execute. And that's the thing I always had trouble to do. And I think today was better.
375 kilos, he didn't come out for the 370.
Redemption on the line for Corentin Clément. All or nothing.
And he locks it out. That looks like a good lift to me. And 2-1 it is. Your new European champion.
Powerlifting is my whole life, so having finally a real title in the Open is of course really important for me, and it's a nice way to start the season. And then I'm looking forward to World and see what I can do. I'll just try to do my best, squat my best bench, see what I can do on deadlift, and if there is a place to go for it, then I will for sure try to do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we return to the 2025 European Open Classic Powerlifting Championship here in Malaga, Spain for some deadlift action. We are in for a good one, the 76B group and the 120B group. I remind you that we have 13 athletes in the 76B group and 10 athletes in the 120B group. Starting off with the 76, obviously. Deadlift openers ranging from 135 to 200 kilos. The first one to open is Katia Vinay from Portugal. She hit 122.5 in the squat, 67.5 in the bench press. Aiming for a PB on her second attempt in deadlifts. Three white lights, she's on the board. Next lifter out is Natalia Kursina from Latvia, 137.5.
11 years competing, that's a lot.
That's a lot. And that makes it more impressive that she's beating a personal best total with that deadlift opener. Next lifter out from Germany, Helen Marie Eckart, 170. This one's to match her personal best in total.
Wow.
To the one, a good lift. And that red card in the deadlift can be for lack of lockout, so that would be the shoulders not pulled back enough or the knees unlocked. We'll have a peek at the replay. I think here it's for the right shoulder being borderline, but the lift should stand. Same weight, 170 for Linda Suna from Latvia. Comfortable opener, 3 white lights, a good lift. Really with these deadlift openers, we're just looking for each and every lifter of the flight to secure the total and then build onto that. 175 for Nusa Selesnik from Slovenia.
Really nice.
Yep, she's on the board, 3 white lights. The Portuguese Marta Lopes, 182.5. This one matches her personal best. No troubles there. The lifter gets to decide where she wants to pull from. The widest sumo you can get. Toes to plates. Mixed grip. Great slack. And just like that, she should be on the board. Yes, she is. 3 white lights.
190 kilos on the bar for Mia Kovac, followed by Zarek Eleniko.
I really love the attitude of Mia.
Mia was looking to open with 190. Semi-sumo working great for her. She should be on the board. Yes, she is. 3 white lights. The total is secure. Time to build. The Polish Justyna Sarek opening with 190. That would mean a 7.5 kilo personal best on her first attempt. She's made great improvements so far, both in the squat and the bench, hoping for the same outcome in the deadlift event.
I'm going to ask her the secret of her prep.
She's gonna tell you, I want to be a Gata Shitko when I grow up. She's been having such a great day. And the great day continues. 3 white lights. A new personal best, both in the deadlift and in total. 2 more attempts to go. That total is gonna look very different once the competition ends. 5 more openers to go. We have 192 lined up twice for the 2 Hungarians, Chalteniko and Fanny Petrisevics.
It's a long group, but it's moving really fast. Deadlifts are usually a quick movement.
That was a quick movement also.
Yeah.
3 white lights, a good lift for the Hungarian. And like I said, back-to-back Hungarians for back-to-back 192.5 attempts.
The bar is
The
loaded.
bar's already loaded.
Followed by Jostova and Velemanova.
It is pretty rare to see the toes pointed as inwards as hers.
But it seems to work for her.
I must say this was not the most convincing lockout we've seen so far. And I'm not surprised that she gets at least 1 red card. We've mentioned that this red card could be for lack of lockout of both the I mean even not both, the shoulders, the hips and the knees. So all 3 could be a signal for lack of lockout. The bar is being brushed. It is up to the discretion of the chief referee whether or not to agree for the bar to be brushed in between the first and second attempt, but it is mandatory in between each and every third attempt to optimize grip and to prevent any residue of talc and baby powder chalk on the bar. Barbara Yuskova opening with 195. She's the Czech record holder with 206.5. Pretty snappy at lockout. 2-1, a good lift. Are you surprised by that red card?
Not really. I was expecting 2 red lights actually, but
From both sides? Yeah, that right shoulder does look borderline. But the jury isn't unanimous, so the lift will stand. Same weight for another Czech, Valerie Velemanova, the one that battled with Barbara Yuskova for the deadlift record in Czechia. Her best being 206 and Barbara's best being 206.5. So we might see a battle in between the 2 Czechs. Teammates battling for the best deadlift. easy opener and more of a convincing lockout this time.
Looks really good. I love about powerlifting that every competition has competitions inside of the main flight, right? For
Absolutely.
example, these two lifters for sure are fighting with each other.
These are the storylines we look forward to. And someone we've been waiting for in the deadlift event is Rosa Erimo Sabadell. You've mentioned that she had a big deadlift on her. Let's see how she can make 200 kilo move with that deadlift opener. Okay, I can see why.
Yeah, she's off to a good start, I think.
All 13 lifters are on the board in the deadlift event. Totals are secured. Now this is where bread is being made. We're going to see some smaller jumps, some bigger jumps, different strategy to build a total. But for the time being, in third position, Valerie Velemanova with that 195. Lighter on body weight, Barbara Yuskova in provisional silver medal position. And leading the charge from Spain, Rosa Erimo Sabadell. She's also the leader in total, being chased by Justina Starek and Valerie Velemanova, with a lot of deadlift to go, and the A group also later on in the afternoon at 4. You really don't want to miss that. Second round start with Katia Vinac from Portugal, 140, a 5 kilo jump. That would be a 2.5 kilo personal best. I think she's gonna get it.
Yeah. Yeah, she looks more happy now than she did in bench press. More relaxed. Now she can enjoy the rest of the competition.
The bar is loaded.
Deadlift really is the lift where you need to kick it another gear, let go of the previous lift. A lot of emotions going on in deadlifts. It's a pleasure to see. This is why we love powerlifting. And an easy 150 for Natalia Korusina from Latvia. Three white lights, a good lift.
180 kilos for Linda Suna. The bar is loaded. It will be followed by Ekar and
180 for the Latvian Linda Suna, a 10 kilo jump to match her personal best in the deadlift event, but that will give her a 5 kilo personal best in total. Sticky at lockout, a bit of a spit wobble after the slow part.
I think she looks surprised even. She didn't expect that.
Yeah, she's not gonna get it for both downwards movements and supporting on the thighs.
What do you think she's going to do? Is she going to repeat?
I think she should repeat,
Yeah, me too.
because that slow lockout costs you a lot of energy. A bigger jump, 15 kilos for Hélène Marie Eckart, from 170 to 185. That would give her a massive personal best total of 482.5, with 467.5 being her best total so far.
Oh,
Another sticky lockout, and she won't be able to completely lock it out.
do you think it's a matter of grip strength, maybe?
I'm not so sure what that was, but that was a no lift. Look at the shoulders rolling forward, and I think you were right, that left hand seemed to be giving up on the bar.
It's going to be difficult to fix that in just a few minutes.
bar is loaded.
Nusa Selesnik from Slovenia, 187.5, 12.5 kilo jump. Come on, big pull. That still looks really comfortable, but I'm not that surprised considering her personal best is 198. We're gonna see another big jump from the Slovenian. For now, it is the Portuguese Marta Lopez, 187.5, 5 kilo jump for 5 kilo personal best, both in deadlift and in total.
I think we're going to see a slow lift, but she needs to be patient.
Agreed.
And she locks it out.
And not that slow, to be fair.
No? And it's a good lift, I think.
Yeah, it's a good lift. Flags are up in the air. Bars now loaded for Thoth and Nico. 7.5 kilo jump to make it 200 for the Hungarian. The Hungarians went back to back with the openers of 192.5. They're going to go back to back with the 200 as their second attempt. Another friendly fight.
I hope it's friendly, at least.
I hope. And it's a good lift. Can the other Hungarian make easy work of that same 200 kilo attempt?
We have seen two lifters with semi-sumo technique. It's not that common, right?
I agree, it's not that common. But for Fanny Petrosevic, what was not common was her fit positioning. They were very inwards, which made for a difficult lockout. She had one red card. You don't want to make it less convincing than what was. Let's have a look at that. It's not much more convincing. But she got her first attempt. She might get this one. Flags are up in the air. Still 2-1. A good lift.
Yeah, but you were right.
I think the knees were 50-50. This is what gave her the red card. Jury's discussing it, but they seem to think that the lift was satisfying enough. Now, very aroused, ready to pull on 202.5 is Mia Kovacs from Ireland. That was a confident walkout. Let's see that semi-sumo position. Big pull.
Wow.
Sticky lockout. But I don't think that was supporting on the thighs.
No, me neither. I think she should be okay.
Oh, and she won't. She gets one red card for lack of lockout from the right-hand side referee and one blue card from the chief referee. On the replay, it does look more like supporting on the thighs. And the coach is sent off. No discussion possible. No lift for Mia Kovacs. And this is why the replay is so useful. It does look different from various angles. And the jury has every angle possible thanks to the media team. So no lift for Mia Kovacs. Same weight for Justyna Sarek from Poland, 202.5. She opened with a personal best. Obviously looking to improve even more. That would give her that milestone of 500 kilos in total.
Oh.
And I don't think it's gonna be there today. She isn't lights out so far. She's hit a PB in the squat, a PB in the bench, already in PB territory in deadlifts. Everything's been looking good. She might just be gassing out at the end of the comp. Her registered PB was 4:30. She's already on 4:87.5. What more can you ask out of her?
Yeah, but also it was a risky jump, I think, because
Agreed.
it didn't move so fast, the first one.
But I think 500 was the goal for today, so why not? She's not aiming at a title or anything of that sort. Not a medal in the event. So why not go for a Hail Mary, a big goal. Another attempt at 202.5 for Barbara Juskova from Czechia. We've mentioned the Czech battle in the deadlift event. Looks like Valerie Venemanova wants the upper hand on that. But for now it is Barbara Juskova. 202.5. It was not gonna pass. That right shoulder was not convincing at all, and still the Greek gave up. Looks like the Czech record holder is not gonna walk out in the lead in the deadlift event. So now a 10 kilo jump for the other Czech, Valerie Venemanova, 205. It's always nice to see a sumo puller battling a conventional puller with the same amount of weight. Different technique for a different outcome. This one surely is a good lift, right?
Yeah, she doesn't show to have any problem with the lockout.
Flags are up in the air. 3 white lights, a good lift. And to close out the second round of deadlifts for the 76 kilo class B group, Rosa Erimo Sabadell, 215. There's more in the tank.
Yeah,
There
for
is
sure.
more in the tank. Flags up in the air. 3 white lights, a good lift. And she's now well in the lead of the deadlift event of the 76B group. She's created somewhat of a gap between her and her opposition. And just like that, the second round has come to an end. So Rosa Erimo Sabadell chased by Valerie Venemanova and Nico, but quite a gap. 215 and 205. It's a big jump. In third position for the time being, Justina Sarek. Second position, Valerie Venemanova, and leading the class, Rosa Erimo Sabadell from Spain. That third 10-foot Kachavinak was not gonna go up. 7.5 was a bit greedy. No lift for the Portuguese, but a great display of sportsmanship.
Yeah, and it's such a relief to see her leaving the platform with a smile and being grateful for the referees. She hasn't had the best of the days, but still she's happy.
Another sizable jump, this time for the Latvian Natalia Korosina, 160. This would be a massive personal best, both in deadlift and in total. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, she did her best, but today wasn't the day.
She still walks away with a personal best of 370. Now the sporters are loading 185 for Elena Marieka from Germany. She's re-attempting her second attempt. We've seen her left hand give up on the bar, her shoulders collapsing. You've mentioned that it was going to be a tough ask correcting that matter. Can she make it work? The answer in just a few seconds. A proper setup. Hand positioning, very strong on the bar, pulling. And that same issue, but then doesn't give up. Oh, the shoulders locked out enough.
Flags, please, referees. Flags, please.
Yes,
And
they
it's a
are.
good lift.
3 white lights. Great corrections made by the German.
And it's difficult to do so.
Bar is loaded.
Bars now loaded for the Latvian Linda Suna. She missed 180, still went up 5 kilos to try and break her personal best of 180. So 185 it is. This one's for 412.5 kilo total. That would mean a lot for her surely. Goes up,
Wow.
goes
What
past
a
the knees.
fight.
Can she lock it out? How is this one going to be a rule is the question. We're going to need the flags up in the air in just a few seconds.
And it's
2-1, a
2-1,
good lift.
How we
Wow.
love a deadlift fight, right?
She missed the second attempt, went up anyway. The jury's discussing it because she got a red card from the right side referee. But they don't seem to be unanimous, so I think the lift will stand. And the lift does indeed stand. Now into Marta Lopez, 190 for the Portuguese, 2.5 kilo jump. After not that much of a difficult second attempt, so
No,
I'm pretty surprised, yeah. Maybe she knows that this is the territory in which her grip gives up on the bar, or she struggles to lock out. So maybe a sensible decision from the Portuguese coaching staff here.
I think
Yeah.
it was the perfect attempt.
It might have been more difficult to lock out, maybe 500 grams more. So 3 white lights. She thanks the referees for the call, but she deserves it 100%. Great outing from the Portuguese. Deadlifts, especially third attempts, really gets the adrenaline going. Our heartbeat went up at the commentary booth. 8 more deadlifts to go in the 76B group. Nusa Selesnik from Slovenia, 195, 7.5 kilo jump. Great effort out of Nusa Selesnik. Flags up in the air, 3 white flags.
I really love when the lifters smile as they are getting to the end of the lift because they know they got it.
She deserves it for sure. Now we have 3 attempts at 202.5 lined up for us. Mia, Justina, Barbara. The first one being Mia, who missed it on her second attempt. Lack of lockout for the Irish. She's re-attempting it. We know she can do this. She's deadlifted 213 in her career. This one sounds doable. Can she manage a proper lockout without supporting on the thighs is the question.
It's going to be a tough call, I think.
I don't want to say anything before the lights. 2-1, a no lift. 1 blue for supporting on the thighs. 1 red for lack of lockout. The coach is rushing the jury to see if he can make a case for that lift. I think it's going to get difficult to argue for it. He's still discussing it while 202.5 is still being loaded for Justina Sarek from Poland. And no lift for the Irish lifter, no lift. So Justina will also miss 202.5 on her second attempt, but it was a different matter. It didn't even move from the ground. We mentioned that she might be gassing out after emptying the tank on 3 personal best. This one's gonna go up. What is that?
Oh,
Unfortunately, she won't be able to lock it out, but it is even surprising that it left the ground.
somehow I was expecting it because she's very technical and she has shown that she's very technical on the other movements. So maybe it was just a lack of positioning or something that didn't get the second attempt.
And the thing that's sad is that it leaves her on a bad mood. But she had a great day. She deserved to walk out with a smile. She's hit PBs in every event, and she's still underwhelmed with her performance. Powerlifting is cruel sometimes. Another lifter who missed 202.5 on her second attempt for lack of lockout was Barbara Juskova from Czechia, 202.5. Reloaded. She's the Czech record holder. Surely she can manage and regain for that third attempt. Shoulders looked a bit more convincing.
Yeah,
2 to 1 a good lift.
this looks so much better to me.
We'll have a look at the replay to see what that yellow could have been for. And she didn't drop the bar on the way down, so I didn't see anything deserving of a yellow. Now attempting 207.5 out of Hungary, Tathaniko. She's had a great outing so far, aiming for a personal best in deadlift and in total. Bar is loaded.
Oh,
It's
much.
not here today. It was not far off, I must admit. Still a great outing from Tathaniko. She walks away with 487.5. And the trend keeps on going. 207.5 for another Hungarian, Fanny Petricevic. Just a bit of a technical issue. We're managing it right now. Nothing to worry about. Back in action with Fanny Petricevic. Her personal best deadlift is 202.5. She's attempting 207.5. That would mean a 5 kilo personal best in the deadlift event, but a 7.5 kilo personal best in total. Her second attempt was better than her first attempt. Can she keep the trend going? Let's wait for the lights.
Yeah,
3
white
white
lights.
lights, a good lift.
How did the lockout look to you?
She made the effort.
Yeah.
She did make the effort. I was worried about that right knee almost unlocking, but it was not the case. It was convincing enough and a well-deserved 207.5.
Yeah, she was shaking. Like, she really tried.
2 more attempts to go. And one that would be for a new Czech record in the deadlift event, 212.5 for Valerie Velemanova. A sizable jump from the second to the third, 7.5 kilos. I think this wants to reach the milestone of 500 kilos in total. That would be a great accomplishment. Come on, let's see it.
And she locks it out. Oh, the
The
tension.
suspense is killing me. Flags up in the air.
It's
She
a
gets
good
it.
lift.
The cherry on top of that performance, and a nice round total of 500 out of the B group. Congrats to Velemanova. And this one, I'm gonna let you do it. Rosa Erimo Sabarel. This one's for you, Laura.
Wow, for me and for the Spanish public, right? I'm quite surprised. I thought she was going to add some more weight to the bar, but for sure she's going to give us a lesson on how deadlift is.
Yeah, this one's to lead the B group by 15 kilos.
She has lifted a little bit more than this, but you can work with what you have today. So let's see. Come on, Rosa.
You mentioned she was a grinder, and there it is. The deadlift grind for Rosa Erimo Sabarel. 3 white lights, a good lift.
And it's 3 white lights.
What a way to close out a B flight, 225. That was an amazing deadlift grind out of the Spanish lifter. No need to say that she's leading the group in the deadlift event and in total. Followed by Varie Velemanova with a new Czech record of 212.5. And closing out the podium, Fanny Petrisevic. In third position for the time being is Justina Tsarek. Second position, Varie Velemanova with 500. And with 515, Rosa Erimo Sabadell. That was a pretty eventful deadlift session. We've seen some lifters come back from second attempt missed to a good third attempt. I mean, what can you say? We love deadlifts, we love powerlifting.
We love powerlifting.
And since we love powerlifting, we have a whole other group of lifters. 10 athletes looking to secure a total in the first round. Openers ranging from 245 to 310 for the 120B group. And Marino Josip Katalinic makes easy work of 245. 3 white lights, a good lift. Now on to Persikovic from Germany, 250. To be honest, he's had an underwhelming performance. He was not at his best in the squat event. He's opening very far of his personal best of 345. Something must have happened in training or in the warm-up room. Hoping for it not to be too serious.
Yeah, but it takes courage to keep in the competition, right?
Absolutely it does. And are we gonna see him walk out or not? It begs the question. The TC is looking for him. We'll wait. We'll let the clock run out, and we'll take this minute to thank one of our sponsors, ESN, Elite Sports Nutrition. They are here at the competition. They have a few challenges for you if you want to come to the venue and try it out. They have amazing products, some clearways, some protein bars, top-notch nutrition for all of you that are great athletes at home watching the competition. 15 seconds to Persikovic. I don't think it's going to come out.
No, me neither.
But it is nice that he didn't scratch his attempts. He lets the clock run out for the competition to run smoothly and for his opposition to get some rest in between attempts. So obviously no lift for the German. Moving on to the Portuguese Cássio Gois, opening with 270. Bars now loaded, and the Portuguese is walking out to the platform.
opening in deadlifts, the heaviest he has ever opened. Really nice.
Really nice indeed. 3 white lights, a good lift.
270 kilos stands on the bar for Daniel Pola, followed by Kovacic and Sigurdsson.
Another opener with 270. This one's for Daniel Pola from Switzerland.
Bar is loaded.
And we see some white powder on the thighs. I think this one's different than the one we've seen on their backs earlier. What's that one? Laura, can you explain?
I'm sorry?
What's the white powder on the thighs of
it's
the
different.
lifters?
Yeah, because it's baby powder. It does the exact opposite of the talk. It lets the bar slip through your thighs.
So it makes for less friction and an easier lockout, especially for these conventional pullers. It makes a lot of difference.
Going on the bar for today, Kovacic, followed by Sigurdsson and Valin.
3 white lights, but a difficult walkout. I think he felt a bit dizzy.
Bar is loaded.
5 more kilos onto that. 275, the opener for Tadija Kovacic from Slovenia. We've seen him make big jumps, so I wouldn't be surprised if this one is quite easy.
Yeah, you were right.
3 white lights, a good lift.
We can expect big jumps on this lifter.
280 now for the Icelandic Helgi Sigurdsson. This is pretty close of his personal best of 290. But I mean, this is kind of what we expect out of a junior lifter still making amazing progress in the gym. Not that wide of a sumo for a bigger guy. And this time it's a hook grip with the thumb wrapped under the bar and the fingers over the thumb.
Wow, strong lockout.
Yeah, strong lockout. And the hook grip makes for a very secure grip when you put it on the knurling, but it is very painful. So this lifter's sacrificing for performance.
295 kilos on the bar.
295 for Tina Valincic from Croatia.
Bar is loaded.
Another lifter that we can expect big jumps from.
It's a good lift. As we said before, he seemed to have some problems with both his bench and deadlift on his last competition, but seems to be solved.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he jumped 20 kilos. .300 kilos for Argo Erit, Estonia. He struggled with the squat, managed a magnificent 220 in the bench press, opening with 300 kilos in deadlift. That looked comfortable.
Yeah, he's definitely not struggling with deadlift.
Still 2-1. A questionable lockout for the left side referee. We'll have a look at that on the replay.
Yeah, I can.
What
Yeah.
would that be for the right knee?
I was thinking more of the shoulder.
Oh, really? Okay. Maybe it was up to interpretation. The jury doesn't want to seem to intervene, so he'll stay on the board. Now 305 for Jesper Vigilius, the Danish sensation of this B group. And 3 white lights, a good lift. I'm not so sure what to expect out of him now. He's surprised us on every event. He's making a strong case for himself now. And the last opener goes to Jesko Christian, 310. Also pretty close for his personal best of 320.
Bar is loaded.
Is he flying too close to the sun, or is it a reasonable opener? Looks like the sun is very far. This was a very reasonable opener. 3 white lights is on the board.
He's a lifter that moves between the 105 and 120 weight class. In his last competition, he managed to get a 305 deadlift. So I thought he was going to be comfortable with that weight on the first attempt.
So obviously he's the leader of the class in the deadlift event for the time being, followed by Jesper Vigilius and Argo Erit, all above 300, with 2 more deadlift attempts to go. So now Persikovic is presenting himself on the platform for his deadlift opener of 250. It did not come in the first round. I'm not so sure what to expect. Hopefully it doesn't get hurt and he secures his total. This is all we can ask for. That was easy. That was comfortable.
Yeah.
And you can only tip your hat to that, him making the effort of securing the total after a disappointing day. 3 white lights, 8 good hits. And hopefully we'll see him on another occasion at the Europeans, because that 345 deadlift seemed very interesting to me. I want to see that. I really want to see that out of him. Now 262.5 for Marina Josip Katalinic from Croatia. 17.5 kilo jump.
Seems good to me. Yeah, 3 white lights.
I think he's pacing for a personal best, at least a matched one. Taking a 15 kilo jump is Cássio Gois from Portugal, from 270 to 285 to match his personal best on his second attempt. Bars being brushed to optimize grip, to extract maximum performance.
Wow.
And rolling the bar like that makes for a very difficult slack pull. The momentum of the bar, kinking your chins, kicking the hips back. It's almost an RDL instead of a deadlift. Very, very difficult to manage. No lift for the Portuguese.
Yeah, and once you hit that sticking point, it's almost impossible to fight.
Opting for a 20 kilo jump is the Swiss Daniel Pola from 270 to 290. That would give him a 800 kilo total. asking for some support.
Oh.
And he tilts forwards.
Yeah, he fell into his tiptoes, it seems like to me.
Yeah, it wasn't an issue of grip, it was more of a balance issue. No lift for Daniel Pola. But you could see him claw his mixed grip, which means that he has one head supinated, the other one pronated, and he tried to secure his finger with his thumb. I think perhaps the most secure grip in powerlifting, but no lift, he lost balance. Now Tadej Kovacic from Slovenia, 20 kilo jump from 275 to 295. A big jump as expected. A sneaky lockout, but 3 white lights, a good lift. There's a bit more where that came from, maybe not his personal best, but something along the lines of 7.5 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Bar is loaded.
Bar is now loaded for the junior Helgi Sigurdsson from Iceland. 20 kilo jump for a 10 kilo personal best.
Oh,
Oh, and the infamous speed wobble at the top of the sumo. It was easy, but just too speedy for his own good. It's just looking too strong.
yeah, what would you do here? I would add up some more weight.
I think in his case, since it's a personal best, I will retake it to try and secure a PB both in deadlift and in total. If you opt to go up and you miss, you're gonna bite yourself after that. So, I mean, why not retake it? It's already a PB. He'll have to choose because you can change your last deadlifts twice. But for now, Tin Valicic from Croatia, 312.5. A wider grip for a bigger guy.
Looks really good to me.
Yes, it did look really good. 3 white lights, a good lift.
It's a redemption meet for him, for sure.
I like that. The redemption meet for Tin. And 3 more deadlifts to go in the second round. And we have the Danish sensation Jasper Vergilius opting for a 10 kilo jump.
The bar is loaded.
This would give him 855 in total. He already destroyed his personal best in every event and in total. So I mean, this is only bonus points from now on.
Wow.
A reasonable second attempt. 3 white lights, a good lift.
He for sure knows how to select his attempts.
And he still looks very focused, not happy at all. The jump isn't done. 1 more attempt to go for the Danish.
I hope we see him celebrating at the end of the competition because he has done some great things here.
Absolutely. And 2 attempts at 330. 1 for Argo Erit and 1 for Chesko Christian. The Estonian goes first. This one's a 30 kilo jump. Hyperventilating again. This is a technique to get the adrenaline going. Some arousal to manage big weights such as this one, 330 on the bar. And then deadlift with only one command. You get the whole minute to get the bar moving. 10 seconds.
Wow.
And you receive the one and only command, the down command, once you lock out.
Not everyone is able to manage that kind of jump, but
Absolutely.
he does.
Yeah, 3 white flags up in the air for this deadlift. Is he going to load his personal best of 350? I surely hope so.
Yeah.
And the responsibility to close out the second round belongs to Cesco Christian, also with 330. But that would be a personal best of 10 kilos for him. No speed bubble at the top, very controlled, a new personal best.
I think he's thriving in this weight class.
Absolutely, he is. How much can he load up? 10 more kilos?
Yeah, I think he could be good with 10 kilos.
So for the time being lighter on body weight, Argo Erit leads the class, but matched by Cesco Christian, and in third position, Jesper Vigilius. We have the third attempt lined up for us, ranging from 252.5 to 355. Argo Erit has loaded 355. That would be a 5 kilo personal best for him.
Wow.
That is amazing. And this time it is 252.5 for Pesikovic, who's not going to come out. He secured his total in the second round, but he don't want to injure himself. He's a 345 puller when he's in full health. It was not here today for him, so a sensible decision not to pull the third deadlift, but a class act, still putting in the attempt, not scratching it out, for the other lifters to get some rest, and that will suit them great because more rest, more performance.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna see some massive deadlifts. The clock is running down. Timeout. No lifts. So Marino Josip Katalinic will follow, 272.5. It's a 10 kilo jump for 2.5 kilo personal best in the deadlift event. Bar is loaded. He's hyping himself up behind the curtains, and now he's walking onto the platform. Sticky lockout, but still, he locked it out.
Yeah, it's a good lift. A great competition.
Now into someone that's going to need to reattempt his second attempt, the Portuguese Cássio Góis. He missed 285. If he wants somewhat of a total that is representative of what he can do, he will need that one. His personal best total is 780. He lost a lot of kilos in the squat event. He's now sitting on 745. This would give him 760. If there's any frustration, you need to put it into the bar to pull it.
Yeah, this could be the thing that rounds up the competition for him. Come on.
And that same technique not doing him justice.
No.
No lift for Cássio Góis. I think he's going to need to adjust.
Yeah, maybe there are some lessons here to be learned, right?
Absolutely. Nothing to be ashamed about competing here at the Europeans, but definitely some lesson to be learned. This is not a deadlift technique that would do him well in the long run for sure.
The bar is loaded.
Another lifter that's reattempting his second attempt is the Swiss Daniel Pola, 290. He's deadlifted 305 before. 290 is very doable. He just needs to maintain balance. Not fall forward.
He asks for support from the public.
On.
And I think this one's going to be ruled supporting on the thighs and maybe lack of lockout. He made the effort to balance it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it will be ruled a no lift. 2 red cards from the chief and the side referees.
It was a great effort anyway. He was shaking.
Absolutely nothing to be ashamed about. He did what he could on the day. The coach is still trying to make a case for that deadlift with the jury. Carl taking some time to explain what went wrong.
But I don't think there's any room for doubt there.
I would have to agree, unfortunately. Now a 10 kilo jump for Tadija Kovacic from Slovenia from 295 to 305. As you said, a redemption meet. Come on, big man, lock it out.
Wow. I think he did it.
Flags up in the air. 2-1.
It's a good lift.
And since there's a red card, the jury's taking a closer look at the replay to see what would that red card be for. I think they're saying it's 50-50, but it's gonna go to the benefit of the lifter. He has big shoulders, so this is why it could have been judged as a lack of lockout, but it isn't. The lift will stand. 5 more deadlifts to go, Laura.
Yeah, and finally he has added up to the second attempt.
Yeah, you went up 10 kilos after that sweet bobble. Helgi Sigurdsson attempting 310. His PB still 290, but we know he has the strength for 300. Does he have it for 310?
Oh.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, you were right. You were right.
I think I'm starting to know a bit of powerlifting. After seeing such a great championship, we've seen that situation over and over. So no personal best in the deadlift event for him, even though he lifted 300 with ease. 310 was too big of an ask.
And also, he's also a junior lifter, so he has a lot of things to learn and experience to earn on the platform.
Yeah, he's still developing in the class. Pretty light for 120. He's at personal best in the 2 other lifts. He couldn't close out on a high note, but he has a bright future in front of him. And someone that has a bright future in the class is Jesper Vigilius from Denmark, aiming to close out his competition with a 320 deadlift. That would give him 860, way higher than what he had registered on the nominations. And that could land him a top 8 finish if he closes this out.
Wow!
I don't think the ball went down.
I think it's good.
Fingers crossed, flags up in the air. 1, 2, and 3
3 white flags.
white flags. I mean, what can you say? This was a great competition from the Danish. 9 for 9 and 860.
Huge total there.
Yeah, props to him. Congratulations on a great day.
I'm sure we are going to see him very soon in the A flight.
Absolutely. Especially if he keeps on developing in the class. And this attempt selection was on point by the Danish team. So Congratulations to him and his crew. 3 more deadlifts to go. 327.5. The last deadlift for Tina Valincic from Croatia, from 312.5 to 327.5 for a 2.5 kilo personal best in deadlift and a 5 kilo PB total. Make it move.
Come on, come on. Oh.
Just not here today.
No. He had to try though.
I think we're gonna see on the replay that once it passed the knees, it lost a bit of balance, tried to recover, but it was too big of an ask. No lift. Almost there though. Next time he'll get it on his second attempt for sure. Česko Christian from Hungary. He already broke his personal best. He hit 330 on his second attempt. He's looking to add 10 more kilos onto that. The Hungarian hasn't had the best squat events, a reasonable bench press event. He's having a great day in the deadlift. That will give him a 815 kilo total, so a 10 kilo personal best. Come on.
Wow.
Great pull. What can you ask for? This is a perfect third attempt. 3
Huge
white
improvement.
lights. Absolutely. And managing that kind of personal best after having a easy squat session is awesome.
It takes a lot of mental strength too.
To refocus. A great outing in the deadlift event from the Hungarian. And this one's massive. This one's very important. This one's for what could compete with the A group. A personal best on the line for Argo R&D Estonian. 355. Even more hyperventilation this time to get the blood flowing. Some adrenaline to put 25 more kilos on the bar. 5 kilo PB and a massive deadlift. That would be incredible. Come on, Argo. 30 more seconds. Everything needs to be perfect. Grips on the bar. He's gonna pull. I can see him hesitating a bit.
And he fights. He fights. Oh my
my
god.
gosh! Waiting on the lights. 3 white lights. He gets it. 355.
Wow.
A new personal best for Erit Argo.
Wow.
Wow.
What a way to finish this flight.
I'm having goosebumps right now, Laura. That was
Wow.
a crazy ending to the deadlift session of the 120s. Wow. So in third for the time being, Jesper Vigilius with 320. With 330 silver medal position, Česko Christian. And for the time being, in the lead, Argo Erit out of Estonia, 355. That was massive.
Wow.
That was absolutely massive. We'll have a look at the standings in terms of total, but remember that at 4 in the afternoon, we'll have the A lifters. So for the time being, in third position from Switzerland, Daniele Pola with 780. In second position, Česko Christian of Hungary, 815. And with a huge 860, Jesper Vigilius from Denmark. That could make the top 8.
Yeah.
We'll see that later on in the day. In just a few minutes, we'll have the participation medal ceremony, but you don't want to miss that 4 in the afternoon flight, the 76 A group and the 120 A group. See you then.